Hit it. Welcome to the Invest in Yourself podcast, brought to you by Lewis Real Estate, recorded at the Lewis Business Center in West Hartford, Connecticut. I'm your host, Razul Wallace, and today we are joined by Melissa Bash and Justin Carney. They are the owners of Trick Dynamics. Welcome to the show. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself personally, and then a little bit about Trick Dynamics.
Okay. I have been a movement enthusiast my whole life. My biggest passion has always been dance and acrobatics. I did actually, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I did really want to do karate as a kid. But I had to choose because they were both really big time commitments. And school, of course, was also a priority in my household.
Yeah.
So I chose dance. I have no regrets. I stuck with that path, loved every minute of it. And that led to us meeting. So
Awesome.
that really worked out.
All right. Thank you. How about you, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with watching the Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, and just throwing down in my basement until my parents were like, let's get him into karate class. And, at 4 years old, I started karate and fell in love with that.
Yeah.
And then finally I started competing. Then the dudes at the competitions were doing flips in their forms. I'm like, hold up. That's that Power Ranger stuff I want. So I started teaching myself. I got a futon, all the pillows in the house, started flipping onto my head.
Right.
And then I eventually didn't fall on my head anymore and was doing flips.
That's dope. That's what's up. It's funny because, like I was telling you, my brother is exactly the same. He's big into martial arts, and Power Rangers was probably the biggest one, flipping off the couch. And so I love it. I can fully picture and relate to that. All right. So tell us about Trick Dynamics. How did you guys meet? How did you guys get started?
Well, like I said, our origin stories led to us meeting. I was running an acrobatics program at a dance studio, maybe a mile or two from where he was teaching karate at the time. And my boss's son took karate from him.
Nice.
So she said, you got to see the way these guys flip. It's different, because they're doing all these off axis. They're throwing kicks in their flips, whereas acrobatics was a lot of, linear tumbling, fast and slow, things like that. So she brought him in to do a workshop for my program. And it was awesome. It was really cool to see. The kids loved it.
Yep,
He had great teaching energy. We all had a great time. I think he did 2 or 3 workshops with us before he convinced me to try it.
Yep.
I was like, no. I'm like, oh, I'm too old. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I went on vacation after he did a demo performance in our recital. And there was a huge backyard, so I was like, great, all right, let me see what I can do. And I could still do a front handspring and a back walkover.
Word.
So I came home and I was like, all right, teach me something. He taught me hook kick, bee kick, which is a butterfly, and tornado, and I was hooked. That's
Word.
it. Game on. Let's go. What else?
That's so. If I'm hearing it correctly, it sounds like everything you did before was more linear, and this is kind of like all directions, side, off axis, like you were saying, and that variation it just adds a level of excitement and fun for you.
And creativity. You can keep your audience guessing because there's so much room for your own self-expression in changing transitions between tricks. Everyone's got their own unique style.
I love it. So with that being said, I understand what you guys are doing. Let's talk about the business of it a little bit. Where are you guys now with your business? Where were you when you first got together and you started? What was that like, and where do you see yourself going?
So, after we met, got her trick, and we were traveling like hours to go to these open gym sessions because there's nothing really around. And one day, she's like, there's got to be a place around. So we just started cold calling them, left some dumb messages. And then we found one.
We needed practice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, by the time we found East Windsor, I was pretty practiced. So
yeah,
we got into an open gym there. We started bringing more and more people every week. And then we got a key to the gym, which is my all-time dream. Get a key to a gym with a spring floor.
No, that's dope.
So yeah, then we just hosted open gyms for about 6 months. Then we started one class. Then we did two classes, and then over
Word.
the years, built up. We started an annual event called Battle of Fury, and then by 2016, it was an international event with like Russia, France,
Really?
Norway,
Mhm.
Spain.
That's
yeah.
dope. That's awesome. So you guys kind of started off ideally. You found you didn't have to have like a large significant financial investment because you were able to use someone else's gym, and then you could see that there was a need for it essentially because you started to have classes, draw people in. Um, at what point when you were in that other gym did you guys decide that you wanted to open your own gym, and then what was that transition like?
So, kind of a funny story. Initially, we were two kids passionate about movement, and I think at one point he said like, I just want to be able to, always I want to be able to train for free. We used to drive so far, pay, which was a lot of money to us at the time. It was like $20 an hour, I think.
Yeah.
And so once we got the key to the gym and we were hosting our class, it was really cool to see it grow, but we really just wanted to break even so that we could always train and pursue our passions.
Yeah.
It started to really grow, which was an amazing feeling. I think for a while though, we didn't want to have our own gym. We were super lucky that the gym that was hosting us, we worked together for a really long time, really well, until we got to the point where our schedule and their schedule, it couldn't be supported by the facility we were in.
Gotcha.
So
You had to get your own.
That's it.
That's what's up. Did you guys like split the revenue generated from the open gyms or the things that you guys were doing? Is that how it worked?
yeah, that was the arrangement initially. It was, hey, you can have a key, come in on your own night. I think that was really because initially, we would go to their open gyms and they were linear tumblers,
Yeah.
and we were going in circles, and they were like, "What are you doing on the floor? Maybe you should come on a different day." I think was kind of how that started. So that led to a great business arrangement until we both grew.
Until you were growing. Tell me a little bit about your event. The what is it? The
Battle of Fury.
Battle of Fury. Can you talk about the first one and then the growth and progression since then?
Yeah, I mean, our first one was in 2013. It was just a one-day event. We flew out one dude, Micah Carnes, who's now like a big stunt fight coordinator in the movies and all that. And yeah, he was our first guest ever. Flew him out. And we had like a little cash pool, maybe like $100 for first place. And it was like a pretty good show. Like all our families came out to watch, the kids, they got jazzed up. And yeah, I mean, that was the first one.
In 2013.
Yeah.
And then when would you say, and I'm guessing 2014, you had maybe one or two more, like a couple more people. When would you say that you had, what year would you say that there was the biggest significant jump or increase as far as participants and viewers, you know what I mean? Or was it pretty gradual and steady the whole way?
2016.
2016.
What happened in 2016?
We coordinated with other events similar to ours throughout the country. There weren't a lot, but when they would happen, it would be like one here in the Northeast, and then maybe one West Coast, and then down south, and then in the middle. And we coordinated with the organizers of those events to make it go geographically, and then we coordinated by collaborating on the guests that we brought, and we made it a whole experience. So they would fly into the East Coast, they would go from our event to the next, to the next, to the next, and then had a one-way back from California to go home. But the tour guests got to experience a cross-country U.S. trip.
That's dope.
And by collaborating and coordinating with the other organizers, we were able to do that for, I think we had 5 guests that we sponsored, and I think there were about 5 more that joined.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So that in 2016, that's when you kind of making those connections or that network and kind of working together, collaborating, essentially is what made it explode or grow into like a much more significant thing. And then from there, it continued to just kind of grow a little bit here. And to did you have one in 2024? Word.
Every year except for 2020.
Oh, what? Which makes sense because COVID.
Mhm.
Wow. So how big is it now?
I mean, there's like more gatherings now, so
Yeah.
like it's a little more.
Spread out.
People have to pick and choose which ones they go to. Like,
Okay.
Before it was like we were the only ones
Wow.
pretty much in the East Coast.
So our first one actually we held because we went to Dreadnought, which was a New York East Coast gathering. 2012 was the last one they hosted. I was actually still brand new to tricking, but he was, big into the gatherings, and we didn't want gatherings to die on the East Coast or the tricking scene to die on the East Coast. So we hosted our first event when there were still very few. And then I think as more and more have grown, we've also really shifted our focus into our students, our curriculum, running a gym year round. I think we're the first tricking gym on the East Coast that is just a tricking gym.
Okay.
So, we really just shifted all of our resources into that focus.
Yeah.
We still host the event. I think it's great for our community. I think it, kind of keeps the passion going and still helps introduce people.
Yeah.
But that's not our sole focus anymore, or even our main focus.
Right.
Okay. So with that being said, you said your focus shifted to the gym. Can you tell us about the gym? What is your your class schedule, open gym? If you feel comfortable talking about numbers at all, feel free to. You don't have to. But tell us about the gym.
Well, our gym is awesome.
All right.
It is. It's the best place.
It's 9,000 square foot,
Oh, wow.
20-foot ceiling. We have trampolines, spring floor, foam pit, parkour stuff, aerial silks.
Word.
Like it's got everything that I like. If I was a kid here, it was like it's a dream.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
That's awesome.
yeah, so we're open Monday through Friday, holding class for kids, adults. Same with the parkour, same with the silks. I think they're open. Well, 6 is 4 days a week.
That sounds right.
And AMP is I think every day too.
Particular hours that it's open? Is it open like all day, or is it just like the afternoon when people get out of work and school?
Yeah, like 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
4 to 9 p.m.
Most of our classes.
Okay. Anything during the day?
We have homeschool class and
Homeschool class.
and stunt training. So a bunch of the stunt guys come in and train in the mornings on some days.
Nice. Do you kind of do you charge for that, or are they allowed to just kind of barter or help contribute to the classes or something like that?
The stunt guys, yeah. So we hold like a skill builder, like once a month, every 2 months, and then all the people who train at the gym, like they help out with the event, and that's kind of
Gotcha.
their barter
Exchange.
system.
Nice. I like it. I like it. The name of the show is Invest in Yourself. So, what would you say is the best investment that you made in yourself?
I'd say personally,
Yeah.
in 2017, I built a sauna on a motorcycle trailer.
Oh, wow.
It's wood fired
Nice.
on a budget.
That's dope.
And it's at my house still. We use it all like every week.
Word.
And I mean, the benefits like physically of sauna is amazing. And
Is that
then,
right?
Oh yeah. And then like the social thing, like you
Yeah.
get in a sauna, you're suffering and you're vulnerable. Now you're having
Yeah.
crazy conversations.
Yeah.
So I can't even count the amount of guests I've had in there. So
That's awesome. So, do you remember what the cost of building it was?
1,200.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And you said you had the foundation already? What was
Yeah. So my parents had a motorcycle trailer. It's just a
the
flatbed.
motorcycle trailer? Yep.
That was free, luckily.
Yep,
And
yep.
on Craigslist, we found a wood stove that had a crack in it for free.
Yeah.
We had to like roll it down the hill because it was like 300 pounds
Oh, man.
and like into the back of my truck.
Yeah.
That was a project. And
Yeah.
then and then we just built walls around it, made a
Yeah.
little chimney, and then we found a cedar store that was going out of business.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they built those beach chairs.
Yep.
They're made of cedar apparently. And the guy was closing down. He gave us all the scrap wood for $75.
Damn.
And we did all the benches, all the siding inside, like for $75.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You have to send us a picture of it.
Oh yeah,
That's what's up.
I got you.
All right. What about you? Best investment you made in yourself?
Do you mean financially or?
It could be financial. It could be time-wise. It could be just, any energy that you put out for money, time, energy.
I think believing that we could do what we wanted to do. I think that's probably something that held me back a lot earlier in life.
Yeah.
You know, I always thought, oh, you know, yeah, that's cool that that person did that. Like, you know, even as a kid, like looking at gymnasts on TV, like, oh yeah, that's so cool that person can do that. But it wasn't until I like translated and was like, if there's something I want to do, I can do it. And I think that's, I know that that has become like a core part of what I teach. It's about building the confidence. Like, you know, everything is so instant these days that I
Yeah.
think a lot of times people, kids and adults, like they try something, and if it doesn't feel like it's like they can do it, like they're good at it already,
Yeah.
they think
Yeah.
that, oh, I can't do this. But I think the more we invest in ourselves,
Yeah. Yeah.
and invest in our people, I think, you know, we're capable of great things.
Yeah.
And we just have to believe in it and go for it.
I love it. So what I'm hearing is the biggest investment you made is essentially in mindset and facilitating the belief set in yourself that you can make that happen. Because I mean that's really all it is. That's the biggest thing. Me personally, I believe that is the biggest obstacle for anyone is the emotional, the fear aspect of it. Because if you just look at the logistics or the numbers, it's all really just, you know, 1 + 1 is 2 and 2 times 3 is 6, or just daily, like, you know, taking one stick at a time to build something. But it's all the stories in our head of I can't do this, all the fears, the uncertainty, the doubt that really limits us and prevents us from creating the world or the life that we want. So I do appreciate that. What is the worst investment that you made?
In the business,
Financially, personally, relationship wise?
I think I would say we've like carelessly spent some money on some things that were, in hindsight, unnecessary. You know, something that maybe we thought would make the event better or something like that, and it was like that didn't add anything to the event, and you know, doubled the cost for this. So I would say there's a couple mistakes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Same question for you.
Battle of the Fury 2018.
2018?
Oh my god.
That's the same one I was thinking of.
Is it really?
It is.
Jesus,
Yeah.
we just leaked money that year.
Yeah.
But I think we got an Airbnb.
Yeah.
It was
I
like-
never saw it.
Yeah,
I never even went.
it was
No.
awesome, and it was like a guest house to a castle. It was awesome, and we're gonna have like 12 people stay there.
Yeah.
So we get them all in, all their stuff, and then like the owners call and they're like, only 4 people can stay here.
Oh, man.
So then we had to, I think, get another place for them to stay, and then 4 people were there. That was a mess. And the next day we had a field trip to a trampoline park,
Yeah.
and like there's some miscommunication where it was supposed to be a lump sum,
Like flat rate.
flat rate. Everyone gets in, and we get pizza
Word.
for a flat rate.
Yep.
They charge everyone at the door.
Oh.
They charge us for pizzas, and like not everyone wanted to go, but we were like, no, go anyways. It's included.
Yeah.
And then
We literally like
Oh.
said, everyone go get a wristband because it's flat rate,
Yeah.
and that way you at least have the option. So there were
Right.
people who walked up, got a wristband, and left. We had to pay for all of them.
Oof.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
lesson learned.
Yeah. Now you double check
was
and
a
triple check
valuable
now.
lesson.
Triple check.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Yeah.
I think we learned a lot from that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, get email now. I mean, they had email then too, but getting it in writing too, because then you can, like, you know what I mean. You have a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you maintain motivation and discipline?
Oh, that go to him first. He's the
All
most
right.
the most disciplined person I know.
Well, through martial arts, you know, getting a
Yeah.
black belt, having a black belt attitude of excellence. Taking
Do you have a
pride-
black belt?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm a 6th degree black belt.
Word. Oh,
Yeah.
That's what's up.
But yeah, I think that influenced in me in everything I do. I got to look out for rushing and like kind of, you know, not doing my best on everything. But when I take my time, it's a black belt job, you know. And then my parents, I watched them struggle with lifestyle choices and poor health and all that. So seeing that firsthand really drove it home that, you know, health is number one. So like my morning routine is consistent, my workouts, my diet. I meal prep once every 2 weeks. I got meals, 3 meals a day. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So I
Oh,
take that
man.
pretty
You are
seriously.
his. Oh, that's what's up. That's dope. Okay. And you?
I'll take the motivation side. I think that one thing that I've learned throughout the years and all the experiences we've had is that passion can really drive your motivation. But I think having, my mom always called it a carrot, like something to look forward to. And so I think adding some variety or something on the horizon, that we're working towards really helps you, focus your motivation and your discipline towards what you're working for, towards the carrot.
Gotcha. Now, with you, is that carrot usually a goal or objective, or is it more of like a reward?
It can be anything. Anything.
So it can be either or.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, sometimes it's been so after the tour that we organized, we've been on tours that other people have organized, and so that's always something really fun to look forward to because you're making new connections, meeting more people, seeing people that you haven't seen. I just spent a month in Europe with one of my friends from Australia that I hadn't seen, in a couple of years. I said I'd seen her once in the last 10 years, I think. So, something to look forward to, whether it's going to someone else's event where you know that you're going to see familiar faces, or just, I love planning surprises or just something. So like, I like planning something for the kids to look forward to. Yeah. So, we've got Young Fury coming up, which is the student version of our main event.
Oh, nice.
That's, for the worldwide travel.
Is that an age range for that, Young Fury?
It's geared towards our student body. So,
So like 4 to 18, maybe?
Yeah, I would say 5 to 16.
5 to 16. Yeah. Wow. That's dope. All right. I like it. Since you guys have started, what significant changes or trends have you seen in the industry? And how have you adapted to those changes, if any?
Well, Japan and China took over.
Really? Really?
Yeah, like
skill-wise.
Oh my God, like, yeah, skill-wise and gym-wise. Like they have, I think, in Korea too. How many gyms do they have in like a one
lot.
block?
A lot.
And it's like tricking specifically.
Yeah.
I would say also what we touched on earlier, where we started our gathering to keep gatherings alive on the East Coast, and as Justin said earlier, like there are so many more gatherings to go to now that I think it used to be there was one in the summer and everybody went, and now there's like one a week. So I think in acknowledging that and then shifting our focus to the fact that we have opened a gym, we have a student body that needs guidance that wasn't there. I think that's been the biggest change.
So it sounds like the community is getting bigger, though. It sounds like it. So that's why there's more meetups. So you don't get to kind of see everybody that might be in it at the one big event, but there's just a lot more people at a number of different events. Is that right?
Right.
Awesome. Okay. But that has to be exciting because I know you said you didn't want it to die out. So it's not.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
growing.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. All right. How conscious are you guys about intentionally creating your environment?
Super.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we walked into an open space.
Yeah.
And now it's full.
Yeah.
And I think on a day-to-day, like I always tell our coaches, like be 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
You don't want to be running in with your head cut off. Oh, the students are on the floor before you. No way.
Yeah.
So I like to be there early, set everything up. I have like a plan in my head. The equipment's where I know it is, so like I can send someone to get it or get it myself. So I think that's huge. I learned that from teaching karate.
So that's part of that black belt mentality.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think my favorite compliment that we've received is about our community and how welcoming it is. Yeah. So as far as curating our environment in that sense, like the feel when you walk in and the feel when you are a regular member of the community and you show up, I think that's my favorite.
Yeah. I love what you said though about because that's a significant part of my current journey. I have I kind of grew up where we were used to like rushing, and I still do to a significant degree, but I've become a lot more conscious about creating space and taking your time with things. And I find that, like you said, when you're able to do that, everything that you do is more thoughtful, and as a result, it is kind of better constructed or built out. if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So that really resonates for me. Okay. You mentioned earlier about your discipline, right? That you have a very rigid structure. So I think it's clear, at least from what I'm hearing, what best practices or guiding principles have contributed to your success. Do you have anything that you want to add as far as best practices and guiding principles?
For me, the human element is possibly the most important. You know, you can focus on, okay, I'm here to teach a skill. We have a curriculum, it's awesome. You know, it could be very easy to do all of that in black and white, but as coaches, as people who work with people, I think focusing or never losing sight of the fact that you're working with a human, whether it's an adult or a small child, you know, that's a human person who has feelings and, you know, thoughts, sometimes confusion. They've put themselves in unfamiliar territory. You're teaching something they don't know. Even that is a big step for people. So I think always being willing to be human with them and just show that you're supporting them on their journey is a really important part.
I like it. I love it. The human element and taking again, what I'm hearing when I hear that is, you know, taking the time to be present with each individual that you're working with and dealing with. Okay. What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone starting their entrepreneurial journey?
Find your passion and build systems and things to make it sustainable.
That's so funny. That's exactly what we boiled it down to with my last guest.
No way.
It is. It is. Find your passion. And then he said his answer was a business plan or a plan. But he basically said creating structure and systems, which is, you know, what I perceived to you say just now.
Yeah, step one.
Do you have any thoughts or contributions?
The last line is what I had written down for that question. Follow your passion with tenacity.
That's so funny.
Tenacity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think having a passion, something that motivates you, is the most important. It's very important.
Yeah.
And then believing in yourself and not giving up. It's not, you know, I think also we learn and experience so much of that through teaching a physical skill.
Yeah.
Something that you can't get instantly. So it might not work the first time, but because that is at the core of what we do, you know, okay, train it.
Yeah.
Get stronger, push harder, try again, take a rest, you know, approach it from a different angle and don't give up.
No, I feel it, because if you do it for, let's say, money because you think it's going to be profitable, on those days when it's like, you know, hard, or you're not feeling well, or it's rainy and wet outside, or, you know, any other number of things that's going to cause you to like want to not take action or move forward, the fact that you're really into it and desire to do it helps to kind of keep you moving and keep it going forward. So that resonates with me, the passion. With that being said, I just want to thank you guys very much for your time, for being with us today. If our listeners wanted to connect with you or reach out, where's the best place for them to find you?
That'd be trickdynamics.com.
Trick, can you spell that for us?
So it's Trick, T-R-I-C-K,
Yeah.
Dynamics, D-Y-N-A-M-I-X, because we're extreme.
Trickdynamics.com. Awesome. And then you guys on social media?
Oh, yeah.
Same
All right.
thing.
Yeah.
At Trick Dynamics.
All right. And then phone numbers and address. Is that something you guys want to share also?
50 Harrison Street in Manchester,
50
Connecticut.
Harrison Street in Manchester.
And do you know our phone number off top?
Yes, it's trickdynamics@gmail.com.
That's the best one.
The email.
The email, yeah.
Trickdynamics@gmail.com.
Because otherwise it's straight to my phone.
Gotcha.
So-
Gotcha. I respect it. That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Thanks again, you guys, for showing up. And
It was a pleasure.
thank you.
Heck yeah.
Thank
Thanks, that was
you.
fun.
Thank you. And remember to invest in yourself every day. All right. Nice. That was good.